Hey guys, today I want to make a case that possibly the effects rack from Soundtoys, the one you see here for $2.99, is actually a better value and actually has more possibilities possibly and more features than its larger brother here for $4.99. And that all started out by I was collaborating with somebody and I had the effects rack. They had the full bundle. If they put a full bundle plug-in on there, I couldn't open it. So I started thinking to myself, how can we make this work? And I'll show you one of my workarounds. But let's just talk about real quick about what I know is in the full bundle that's not in the effect rack. The most predominant ones are the little plate right here and the little altar boy, which are awesome plugins and wildly popular. Those are the two big ones that you're missing with the effects rack. And then some of the other ones you're missing with the effects rack are light versions. I don't really understand why they did it this way, but there's like a little devil lock light, a little primal tap, a little radiator, and the little micro shift. Those are also only available in the Soundtoys rack, but their larger cousins are still available in the effects rack. So without all that being said, when I was collaborating, it got me to thinking, how could I create basically a standalone version with just the effects rack, which I'll show you now. One of the other things that was kind of annoying about the effects rack, just when you're adding a plugin, is the name of it. It's just called Effect Rack. So you can see when I'm typing, and obviously there's a million things in my samples and effects and all that start with effect. So I have to type in effect rack or make a shortcut. What I want to be able to do is just go decapitator, and boom, there it is. And this is what I've done here. I'll show you, and then I'll show you how to create it. So what I've done is I've just created a rack that has just the decapitator in it. It's renamed that way. And then as you see here, I've assigned all the macros to the features I want to use the most in there. So let me just delete this, and I'll just show you real quick how I made these. And if you're lazy or you just want to have all these, I just started my Patreon, and it's already up and on the website. If you want to, I'd really appreciate your support, and I'll try to put up as many things like this, some sample packs and racks and whatnot like this. So those are up now. If you join me on Patreon and show some support, you can download those. Right now I just have audio units, so let me know if you want VSTs. So all we're going to do here is we're going to load an effects rack, put the plugin of our choice, and then we're going to group it, which you can right click and group or hit Command G. And then we are going to open up the macros, and then we're going to hit this little triangle right here and hit configure. And what you're going to want to do now is just click on the one you want to assign, and when you click on it, for instance the drive here, now you'll see it appears here. Right click and map to macro 1. So this is really neat too if you have an Ableton push right, because you got all your macros right there. You have knobs now all assigned to your favorite features in your favorite order. One thing to note here, for instance, if we want to do tone, you can see that when we did drive, it was all the way in the lower setting of that parameter, whereas tone is at 64. It's right in the middle. So if you're going to do something like this, move it up or manually, type in 64. So it's in the middle before you assign it. And now you can assign it, for instance, to macro 3 there. Some of the other features that are unique are all this stuff up here at the top. So, you have the tempo, which you can put in manually. You can let it run free. You can run it at halftime, double time. You can tap into it. Some of that stuff is available on the individual plugins, I believe, but being able to kind of to run them free and to tap into it and all that stuff is unique, I believe, to the effects rack. The other thing that I really like is the input and output here, because a lot of times, especially like saturation plugins or any plugin for that matter, you want to hit the plugin at a certain level, but that also might change your gain staging completely. A lot of times I have to put a utility before and after a plugin to get it to stage correctly. So basically it's like having that utility before and after to set it up. And then you have this recycle, which can get pretty nasty pretty quick, but what it does is it takes some of the output signal and runs it back in like a feedback loop into it. So you want to be careful with that, but it can definitely yield some cool results when it comes to doing sound design. And then of course our wet dry mix, which some of the individual plugins have, like Decapitator. Some of them do not, which is really cool because then you can do parallel processing with some of them that just aren't designed to do that. Like I believe, you know, if you take, Devil Lock's not a good example, but I think there are some that do not have like a wet dry. So overall, even if they do have a wet dry, you have a master, a wet dry for the whole rack. And then the other part that's really neat is, you know, you have your presets within the rack. So you got a presets, you know, all these presets here, and you can save your own. But there's a whole cornucopia of combo presets from the factory that, and of course you can save your own as well. But you know, you got these ones that have, look at this. This one's 3 Echo Boys, the trio lead, and they're all categorized. There's some really cool ones in here to explore. So that's another unique function. And again, I know I'm probably going to get some flack or people telling me why the full version is better. And I wholeheartedly would love to hear that. I'm sure there's things that I'm not educated on that I don't know about. And I would love to hear about that down in the comments. If you enjoy this video, we appreciate it if you hit the like and subscribe button. And as I mentioned before, I just started my Patreon, and I would be much obliged for your support. And I'll try to do as much as I can to provide free stuff like these racks and whatnot. So thanks for your time, and I hope that this has helped you maybe make an educated decision on your purchase, or helped you in some other way when learning about what you already got or what you're intending to buy. Have a good day. Thanks for watching.